Here we go. Here we go.
Let's go! I told you I was going to start at the exact same.
You did.
I mean, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? This is the Unprofessional Opinion podcast.
Yes.
My name is AJ. To my right, my man, 100 grand, JC. How are you this wonderful Sunday, almost afternoon?
Still blessed, man.
That's good.
Still blessed.
That's good to hear.
September 30th. Just in case you guys are wondering. Unprofessional Opinion. What do we do at Unprofessional Opinion?
Well, what do we do?
It's obvious.
We give a professional opinion.
We give every type of opinion possible except for professional ones.
Yep.
That's all we do. We are a variety podcast. We talk about everything. Music, sports, politics, culture stuff, economics, education.
And all that jazz.
All right, we just hope that you take what's going on in your world and you play with it for a little bit and you come out with something more than what the popular opinion is. Unprofessional opinion, unpopular opinion, it doesn't matter.
Dog, you're right.
It's an un with a P in it and an opinion. Let's get into it though.
There we go.
We're going to start with America's dad. Bill Cosby's getting locked up.
Yeah, man. So what?
3 to 10.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, I guess after allegation number 60, you got to start to believe that it's true.
I mean, hey.
You know, I don't know if it was any of these were actually proven.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Dr. Bill Cosby.
No, wait, is he a doctor?
I thought he was.
Oh, he is a doctor.
Dr. Bill Cosby. All I gotta say to you, brother, you don't want them type of pudding pops.
Look,
You better keep that soap right there.
I'm tired of the people.
We'll get into it.
Who keep fucking sitting here and wasting our time talking about how none of this would have showed up. All of this is happening because he tried to buy NBC. None of you have your facts straight on that statement.
What did educate?
For one, Bill Cosby wasn't trying to buy NBC recently. That was a rumor that has been already proven to be false. Mm-hmm. He was thinking about it back in like 92 or 93. Never got to that point. And now this rumor has now reappeared just to try to put together some super conspiracy about like all these other folks who are being accused, and yet Bill Cosby is the only one that's been convicted. Yeah, I understand that, and I understand that might be a racial thing, but that doesn't mean that we can't hold that nigga accountable for admitting. He admitted it.
Did he?
He did. During the trial, he admitted to drugging and raping women. And yet still, we are still sitting here talking about none of this would have happened if he would have tried to buy NBC. How come he's the only one that hasn't been convicted yet? To me, it doesn't fucking matter. He has to be held accountable. I love Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable, but fuck Bill Cosby. Heathcliff wasn't out here doing that shit. That was Bill. That was Bill. So I'm tired of hearing this whole NBC bullshit. None of you have even went to go fact check that. Literally, it takes 4 seconds to put that into Google. And the headline will literally be, Bill Cosby not attempting to buy NBC. That was a rumor from the 90s. And even then, like, we can't sit here and say, oh, how come he's the only one that's being convicted? It doesn't matter. He still needs to be convicted. Why are y'all trying to see the issue is people are trying to sit here. They're not looking for equality. They're trying to look to get away with the same shit that white people may get away with. Nah, that's not how we need to do it. If niggas need to go to jail, niggas need to go to jail. Okay. Like, come on now. We can't sit here and just try to bullshit around and be mad that Bill is the only one that's been convicted. Y'all give so much of a fuck about that, but don't give a fuck about the 60-some-odd women that he went and drugged and raped? Y'all don't care about that? Get y'all's priorities straight. Fuck. That's what I got to say on that shit. I ain't got shit else. I ain't got shit else on it. You got something else on it?
Oh, come on now. Have you met me?
Come on.
Oh, I guess so.
Give some bars. All y'all shut the fuck up with this NBC bullshit.
So, I was unaware that he actually admitted it.
Yes.
And what are they appealing? Because there is an appeal being filed. I mean, if you already admitted it, then I mean, kind of hard to get an appeal.
I don't know. Maybe like the appeal, the admittance was under duress or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Do you know who Glenn Beck is?
Yes.
Okay. So I was listening to a podcast, and Glenn Beck was a guest on there.
Word up.
And first of all, Glenn Beck has been through some stuff in his life, by the way, and that's rough stuff.
What is it like? Can you give some examples?
No. I don't want to put his personal business. I mean, well, he also puts his personal business.
He literally puts his personal business
but,
out there for a living.
You know, it's unimportant to the point I'm making about Bill Cosby.
Okay.
But he was actually, after he got through his personal story, he was dropping some knowledge just about, you know, American history and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it gets to the polarity of a situation like this, right? So if you look at somebody like, you know, Gandhi, right? Mahatma Gandhi. Right? So, who was Mahatma Gandhi? Like, what is Mahatma Gandhi's legacy?
Nonviolence.
Right?
By any means necessary, even though he was racist. Those people forget that part.
See? It depends on where you go.
Right.
His legacy is different.
Yeah.
Right? In India, he's the Indian Mother Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's Father Gandhi. But in South Africa, he said, why Indians getting treated like these niggas?
Right.
You know? So, it depends. Like Winston Churchill, same thing. In Europe, he's a liberator.
Mm-hmm.
In India, he's a dictator.
Right? Antichrist incarnate.
Exactly. So, that's kind of the same thing with, you know, Bill Cosby. Like, now that he has been convicted and he's going to jail, it's kind of like, how do we look at Bill Cosby?
That's why me personally, you have to separate Heathcliff from Bill.
No, I'm not even talking about his character on the Cosby Show. I never liked the Cosby Show, so I didn't care anything about Heathcliff.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, if he's because everybody looks at him as America's dad,
right,
and as one of the biggest reasons why, you know, America has, in some ways or another, depending on where you are, become more comfortable with educated black men.
Right. So, but that's still Bill Cosby.
Right.
Bill Cosby has probably done more to break black stereotypes than anybody doing it that's ever done it.
Mm-hmm. He's done quite a bit for that.
Right. But, and you know, we're going to get to the, you know, Kavanaugh stuff in a second.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm hesitant to just automatically believe people who are accused of sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you get rapists attached to your name, that doesn't go away.
Right.
You know, people are trying to pull his star off the Walk of Fame. They're trying to take away all of his Lifetime Achievement Awards. Like, no, that's the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the same person he accepted your award and then he drugged the woman that night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's okay.
That's not okay.
No, what I'm saying is it's the same person that you gave an award to.
Okay.
You were looking at that when you gave him the award. You didn't background check him when you gave him the award.
Right.
Right, because he's been drugging people for the last 40 years, apparently.
Right.
Right? All of the awards and all the accomplishments that he's done in the last 40 years, he was also doing that too. So you can't just split somebody down the middle and say, oh, I was only talking about the non-rapist part of Bill Cosby.
Okay.
Now you get the whole honey.
Right.
The same civil rights guy, he was raping people. So how do we look at Bill Cosby now? See, now it's either you got to be one. If I look at Bill Cosby and say, I mean, man, that's a really positive black man who had a flaw, I'm supporting sexual assault now. Because that's how polarized the society we live in.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't support a sexual assault. Of course I don't. But I'm not. That doesn't make Bill Cosby just a sucker. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean,
that doesn't make him
no,
a
yeah,
sucker.
he's done plenty of great things, but I mean, he has to pay for his sins, as everyone does.
I mean, it's the same. It's like the same thing going back to Joe Paterno and Sandusky. Why are we taking away wins from Joe Paterno?
Paterno didn't even do that shit. I mean, he knew about it. Didn't he? Knew about it. That was the case, wasn't it? That he
covered
just
up.
knew.
He covered it up.
Okay.
Now, I'll cover it up. I mean, if you was out here doing bad stuff and I had a chance to cover it up, I might cover it up too, depending on the charge.
Oh, what's that?
Depending on the charge.
Depending on the charge. Right. Because otherwise, he did that shit, y'all. I mean, if it's one of them charges, he did that shit.
Right. So, I mean, now that, that is pretty much all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for Bill Cosby because, Bill Cosby's going to die, possibly in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's just going to call him a rapist for the rest of his... Every time you bring up Bill Cosby, you're going to bring up drugging and raping women and not the actual positive things that he did that made him one of the most influential black people in America, in American history.
Right. It's unfortunate.
And that sucks, man. So now we get to Kavanaugh. He had his little...
But it's kind of weird because we pretty much used to be in a society where it's just like all of the bad got swept away. And now we're in a society where you can't avoid it.
Well, see, it's not even that. It's that we're only looking for the bad.
Right. Like before, it's just like you would hear about the bad, but like either nobody was like straight up, nobody was believing you, or it would just get swept under the rug. And I feel like now that we're looking for the bad, a lot of the bad that was happening before is now, being brought to the light.
But see, that's my thing now. That's always my thing. That's always my thing about Kavanaugh.
Mm-hmm.
So, he had his little hearing.
Yeah, that nigga did that shit.
Did
you see the way that he was squirming on the stand? That nigga did that shit.
I mean, sure. I didn't see it.
He
because,
did that shit.
Obviously, I was working. Like, I caught some of the tail end of it.
Oh, yeah, no. I watched some of the videos.
I didn't see the woman testify.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't they say another woman came forward and did that?
And they pretty much are trying their hardest to attack the women.
Okay, I mean, but here's why.
But he did that shit. If you could just seen the way that he was just sitting up there looking and screaming and crying.
Sure,
he definitely.
Like I said, I don't care whether or not he did it.
Okay.
I don't care.
Why? Well, I mean because he's not upholding the law.
We're not because. Let's talk about why we even know the name of Brett Kavanaugh to begin with. Mm-hmm. It's about his ability to be a judge. Mm-hmm. What does any of this have to do with his ability to be a judge? You're looking at somebody's high school yearbook and saying because you did this in high school, because you drank alcohol in high school, whatever you've done through your career, that before any of this was going to get you nominated for the Supreme Court is now unimportant. Like, my thing is to everybody who cares about the situation, which should be a lot of people because the Supreme Court is important.
Yeah.
If you are going to vote yes to confirm Brett Kavanaugh as a Supreme Court justice, this shouldn't change your vote. If you were going to vote no, then this should only affirm your vote. Like, now I'm definitely not voting for him.
Right.
Like, he's a garbage judge and he does this on the side? Like,
right.
No.
Okay.
But what I don't like is when people are saying, oh, I would confirm him, but now that these allegations or, you call it admittance of guilt, given his testimony has come out, it goes from a yes to a no. Like that's my thing with it. Because remember, we're judging him on. Like, we're not judging him on his character. We're not judging him on what somebody else says about him. We're judging him on his ability to interpret the law and make, uphold the Constitution. Right? I mean, I'm sure that if you went to everybody that is his age and say, you remember when you did XYZ at age 16? Would you like to be held accountable for that now? Nobody would.
Of course not.
Like, but so why? What is the infatuation now where everybody's got to be perfect in order to do something? Nobody's perfect.
I don't think we're talking about perfect though.
You are though, because what does this have to do with his abilities as a judge?
Because
why would that change your vote?
If we've already talked about his ability to uphold the law, and he's not doing that. That's where.
But he wasn't doing that at 16, not at 53.
Okay.
So in 40 years he's incapable of changing. We do not take into account the growth.
Okay.
From 16 to 53. Or 18 to 53, whatever it was.
Well, then that depends on if he was still doing the same shit in between that time.
But I'm saying, after 35 years,
what?
I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago. I don't want to be. I don't want people to hold me accountable for stuff that I did 2 years ago. 35 years ago, I'm a whole different person now.
Understandable.
So I'm not going to go back. I'm not nominating him at 16 for the Supreme Court. I'm nominating him now for going forward. I don't care what you did in the past. Your past character flaws. Everybody's got character flaws. You just ain't important enough for me to go look at them. All these other people.
Right.
So why don't I look at who he is now? Can he do the job now going forward? Why is that Chinese now?
It's not. My statement remains unchanged though. So.
No, I'm not trying to, because you didn't think he should be a Supreme Court judge to begin with, right?
Right.
So you were gonna, like, if you had a vote, you would vote no.
Nah.
But before all this stuff.
Before all this.
Right. So I'm cool with that. Like I said, like if you are already a no, and this makes you a double no, cool. But if you were a yes, and then this comes out, and then it's a no, now what are we talking about?
I mean, but hey, he can't uphold the law. Can't uphold the law.
I want to lie to these people to go up there and be important. Then we remember that you grabbing titties in '95 and see what happens. And see what happens. I can't wait for you to get big, and then somebody come out and say, "You grabbed me inappropriately in 2002." And see what your
what was I doing
is.
in 2002? How old was I?
Yeah, I want to see what your thought is.
Like 8?
Yeah,
I don't think I ever touched a girl until I was like in high school, like in any sort of way.
Yeah, I wanted to be 20, 30, and I wanted somebody to bring up something from 2010, and I want to see your reaction to it. I did. You gonna call me like this crazy? This girl is crazy. This was 20-something years ago. I'm like, Unprofessional Opinion, episode 2. Exactly what I'm gonna say to you. What else happened?
What we got on this docket?
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go with this?
JC's choice.
My choice. Let's talk about Carter 5.
The Carter 5. I guess this is all you. I didn't get a chance to listen to it.
Here.
Sorry, Tunchi. Didn't get a chance to listen to the joint. I heard it was pretty cool.
You know, I had to accept Lil Wayne for who he was after listening to this album.
That doesn't sound too good.
No, because my thing with Lil Wayne has always been this. Right? Lil Wayne can rap.
Yes, we know this.
He can rap extremely well.
One of the most quotable artists to ever do it.
But I've always thought that his albums were just high budget mixtapes. You know?
Just no chemistry.
Just songs just thrown on there. He's snapping. But like the actual composing of songs wasn't really there. The conceptual nature that I personally enjoy wasn't there. And I always thought that he was capable of that. But now, like, he tried on the Carter 5. He tried. I mean, it's a very personal album. You know, he
tried to put together a storyline?
Not without a whole album, but like he had more conceptual songs. It wasn't just Wayne just spitting random punchlines over beats. I mean, he certainly had some of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Mona Lisa song with Kendrick was fire.
I heard.
Yeah, I mean, but that was actually like a story type song, and you know, he tried to get a little bit personal at the end and had his mama crying throughout the whole album. No, I mean, I'm serious.
The way
like,
you said that, you sound like you were a fan.
I mean, but I was just like, you know, this is Lil Wayne. Like, this is Lil Wayne's attempt. You know, like, it goes back to the Eminem thing, right? Like, we've always wanted Eminem to be a little more conscious when he raps. You know, we don't want the homophobic jokes and, you know, the cartoon violence, punchline, and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he does it, and then y'all call it trash. And then you just like, I mean, that was his attempt. Like,
right.
If you want conscious rapping Eminem, that's probably what you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I want personal story Lil Wayne, that's what I'm gonna get. I'm good with Carter 3 Wayne. I'm good with Carter 3 Wayne.
Okay.
I mean, because it was a very, you know, Lil Wayne is just known for his energy, right? Like, he just energized, like, he just energized the bunny, just rapping. He was very mellow. He was very introspective Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really like introspective Wayne. Although I do think the Nicki Minaj song was cool. The triple extension, what's his name?
Triple extension.
Was that his
XXX Tentacion?
Right, him. He was on the song.
R.I.P. to him.
I didn't like that song at all.
You did that?
I mean, it was cool, but it was just like, I mean, and it wasn't even his fault. Like, it wasn't Triple Extension's fault. It was more Lil Wayne's fault than anything on that song.
Triple extensions.
I mean, he says that on the song. That's why.
He literally said triple extension.
Yes.
Oh.
I would have loved to have seen a Drake appearance. You know, I don't like the late '90s, early 2000s R&B appearances on there. Ashanti is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good look.
Okay.
Nivea was on there.
I mean, she.
No, sir.
Okay.
I mean, Nivea was like early 2000s.
Yeah. I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, Nivea. Like it's the Carter 5. Like, I don't want to see Nivea on there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, it was a solid album. I mean, part of it was, you know, you waited 6 years for that kind of deal, and yeah, that's about all I got on it.
It doesn't really sound like it's earning that much of a listen, but I mean it's also it's Wayne, so I have to listen.
Right. I mean, some of his punchlines were like, it was like, all right, Wayne, like.
Is there anything in there, like, does he sound reverberated or not? Is it reverberated or rejuvenated or just anything?
No, like, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't really it was a very mellow.
So I wonder if this whole thing was this whole project finished before or after
I think
he
what
got
happened,
full rights to Young Money.
Yeah, I think apparently, looking at the story, it was finished in 2014. And then he came back and added the triple extension song.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I'm messing that dude. What is his name? Ashley? XXX Tentacion. Okay, I apologize for messing up his name. But triple extension just is better.
Okay.
It gives me less syllables.
Okay.
But yeah, then he kind of went back and added some songs. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Wayne was just like, man, like Wayne was just kind of. It looked like he was just tired of doing Carter albums.
Well, maybe this probably would have been received a lot better had it been actually released in 2014. Like, he probably would have wanted to.
I mean, it probably was a good album. Like,
back in 2014.
I mean, it's still a pretty good album now.
But would it? It would have been better back then.
No, because we don't like tired Wayne. Like, Wayne just sounds like he really needs a nap. Like, you know, Wayne was in his dark place in that album. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's weird that, honestly, the Carter 5 gets released, and it was by far not the best album that was released on Friday.
Well, what was the best album released on
Logic.
Friday?
Logic came out with Young Sinatra 4.
Really?
And he was rapping. To all you vibers out there, this ain't the album for you.
Oh, he wasn't
because he. No, I mean the beats was cool. I mean he was going with Wale.
Okay.
I was like, all right then, but like he
but
was
he
rapping,
talking that shit.
I mean I'm talking 14 songs, an hour, 16 minutes. Like it was rapping. He got the whole Wu-Tang Clan back together.
Mm.
They had a posse, an 8-minute song. I mean every member of Wu-Tang's in there spitting, except for RZA, because RZA can't rap. But he was talking. But now that was dope. It was a dope album because I like Logic. So I mean, you know, that was a dope album. You definitely go listen to that. You're gonna hear somebody just rap.
Okay, he was just on there, just balling.
Yep.
Balling on the track.
Now let's go ahead and get into it.
Okay.
Somebody who was supposed to release the album and didn't do it.
Who?
Yandi himself. Kanye West is back on his thing again.
Of course.
Right?
I thought he was going to rebrand, man. I thought he was doing the rebrand.
Yeah, so Kanye goes on SNL last night.
Mm-hmm. As in September 29th, he was on SNL.
Right. I mean, they can look that up now. So.
Right.
And honestly, man, like he got back into his Trump bag. He had 3 pretty weird performances.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't understand the Lil Pump song where like he's a, baking soda bottle or what is he? I don't know. He was a bottle of pH water on Saturday Night Live or something. Big bottle of Dasani on there or something. I don't know what he was doing. I think Kid Cudi came out and did some songs, did a song, and he did another performance. Then after the show, thanks to Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Chris Rock.
Of course. One of the best to ever do it.
Tambourine. He had a little pro-Trump thing, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was talking about dialogue with Trump, and he had on his Make America Great Again hat, which I know you black people don't like.
What dialogue is there really to have is what I'm trying to understand.
I'm trying to figure out what this album is. I'm done with Kanye and the dialogue stuff.
Right.
We'll release that one day. We could probably release that now because it's still on there, I think.
Oh,
we can put that on there.
The rant about him in his interview?
The Kanye talk?
Oh.
But I don't have anything to say about Kanye. I just want to know where this album is.
Nope. I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, that literally just goes back to my question. Like, what dialogue really is there to have? Like, what are we talking about?
It's my issue with you niggas. Y'all niggas always want to talk about something.
Like, what are we talking about?
When are y'all going to shut up
about?
and do something? I mean, he's talking about the same stuff that y'all want to talk about.
Right.
When Colin Kaepernick does it, y'all think it's cool. But when Kanye does it, it's not cool. Because Kanye got a hat on. Kanye don't got braids. Or a fro, whatever Colin Kaepernick got on these days. That's what he wants. He wants to have a dialogue, and y'all behind that. Don't fake the funk now.
Wait, what are you talking about? Because he's done actual work.
Yeah, but I'm talking about what was Colin Kaepernick's point for taking the knee? I want to start a dialogue.
But then work.
So when Kanye wants to start a dialogue, y'all not messing with it. Kaepernick wants to start a dialogue. It's the greatest thing ever. He's Bill Russell. He's Muhammad Ali.
We've been doing work. But he's been doing work.
What
after
work?
that?
What work?
So he's done other community service programs.
Right, so you go out and you feed the homeless, and all of a sudden you can have the same dialogue that Kanye wants to have.
It wasn't feeding the homeless.
Then what was it?
Actual work with police.
Like what?
Okay, what was this program with? It was with The Game and Snoop Dogg. They actually went and had talks with police.
Cool.
They did that all throughout California, I think it was. Or at least I think that was in Oakland. It was where they started.
Okay.
Somewhere over there.
Uh-huh.
And they did that.
Right.
So what I'm asking is, if Kanye wanted this same dialogue, what work is he going to do after that?
I mean, it doesn't matter, but the dialogue is what he wants to do. He wants to just have a dialogue.
And now I'm asking what are we talking about?
He's not pretending that he wants to do something great. He just wants to talk.
Okay, and now I'm asking what do we want to talk about?
The same thing that Kaepernick wants to talk about.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. When Kaepernick wants to just talk about stuff and not really do anything.
But
when we talked about it last week.
Yeah, I know.
Right. He wants to have a dialogue, but we don't know what he wants to talk about. But it's cool because he's out in the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Kanye wants to have the same dialogue. Kanye actually wants to sit up there and talk. Kanye can say, we want to know. We know what Kanye believes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why can't we just let him talk? Because he got a hat on?
He been talking, though.
Because he got a hat on? But y'all not listening.
What are we listening to? It's my point. Because even when we listened, what was there to take from it?
Do you remember the entire episode? We had an hour and 45 minutes to take from.
Yeah, off of that
So
interview.
then, that's the dialogue that we want to start.
But
have we
his
ever had
dialogue-
that type of dialogue about something that Kaepernick said?
His dialogue was, I don't want people to do the shit that has been done to me, but I'm going to do that same shit to people. That was his entire basis of that interview.
No.
I remember that specifically.
That was not true.
That was true.
That's not true at all.
That whole shit with Virgil wasn't that whole
Right, but
deal.
that wasn't the entire conversation. It was a 3-hour interview. You think they just talk about Virgil the whole time?
I mean, not specifically Virgil.
Right.
But
So
for the most part,
so
it was
you're gonna
literally
pick out
doing
a
that.
10-minute clip and say that was his whole conversation?
I mean, he didn't
Come
want to
on
talk
now.
about it. He
You
wasn't
better
talking
than
about shit. I'll go back and listen to
You
it.
better than that.
I'll go back and listen to it.
Right,
He wasn't
but
talking
you-
about. He wasn't talking about that much other shit.
But I'm talking about specifically the rate. I'm not talking about his own stuff, the free thing.
You're feeling away. You're
No,
feeling
I'm-
away, man.
Right, that right. I'm not talking about him feeling the way. I'm talking about what he talks about when it comes to Trump and racism and social justice in America and stuff like that. We have heard more about what Kanye thinks than what Kaepernick thinks. Kanye stuff, although it may be way off base, is actually, if people listen to it right, can actually start a pretty serious, productive conversation. Kaepernick has said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you follow Kaepernick blindly. He didn't have to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even want to associate with Kanye, even though he's saying some stuff that could spark something.
Okay.
That-
What else is he?
I'm just talking about. I'm just bringing it back to the polarity point.
Mm-hmm.
That it's because he has a hat on. I mean that's really
But
what
could
it
it be
is.
because he just does not actually stand for us in terms of?
But what I'm
we
saying
do
is
it?
that's fine. He doesn't have to. But Colin Kaepernick doesn't either. That's my point.
Mhm.
Colin Kaepernick stands for Colin Kaepernick.
Okay.
So he doesn't stand for you, but you think he does because of what?
Because he took it.
Right, because he partnered with celebrities who are actually doing something. The game's been working far before.
Mhm.
This was a big issue. Game was putting in the groundwork when nobody was putting in the groundwork.
Shout out to the game, by the way. He's terrible at basketball, but shout out to the game.
No, I'm not challenging that dude 1-on-1.
So you
I'm just saying. I mean, Snoop was out there in the community before it was cool to be out there in the community.
Mm-hmm. Even changed the name to Lion.
I mean, whatever. So what I'm saying is, so he hops on two other people's waves, and we want to call him Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
But Kanye is just
I've never called him
doing what Kanye has always done, and now we don't want to mess with Kanye. We don't want to engage Kanye in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's all Kanye is looking for. He's not looking for no notoriety like Kaepernick. He just wants to engage people in conversation.
I
So
really
why
don't
not just
believe that
engage
he
him in
doesn't do
conversation?
that. I don't
Even
believe
if you're
that
saying
he's not
Kanye,
looking
you're
for
wrong.
notoriety, though.
Huh?
I don't believe he's not looking for notoriety at all.
I mean, but how is he getting notoriety off of this? He's already famous.
And yet we still keep talking about it. But every time he comes out with some crazy shit to say. I mean, we're doing it right now.
Right? No, I was more concerned about what the album was.
I mean, I understand.
I already know what. We've already had the Kanye conversation.
Right.
So if he's gonna continue the dialogue, that means nobody's engaging him in dialogue. That's the only reason that Kanye talks, is because y'all aren't talking back to him. I keep trying to tell you that, look, I understand Kanye better than 75% of the people.
Okay.
If y'all just talk back to him, he'll shut up. I guarantee you. When he was talking that George Bush hate black people stuff, and y'all at least said yay or nay, you need to be quiet. He said, "Okay, I'm good. Late registration."
So you think his music hasn't been that great because
y'all not
nobody's
talking to him.
to him?
Exactly. If y'all would just talk back to Kanye, he would stop saying wild things. I mean, Kanye, he is that. I'm not calling him a child, but that's what children do. If your baby sister, when y'all were kids, if she did something, she knew it got on your nerves, she would do it. And what they tell you, ignore it. Mm-hmm. If she ignored, she'd do something else that would get your attention. Mm-hmm. Y'all keep ignoring Kanye, he's going to get your attention. I believe Kanye lied about this album being ready. Just so he can get back on Saturday Night Live and talk about this. Y'all gonna talk to me. Mm-hmm. Even if I got a fake album coming out. He's just putting out all kind of random stuff. You think Watch the Throne 2 is in the works? No.
Of course not.
Why did he say it? Because now we got Kanye back on the radar. Bam. MAGA hat. If y'all would just talk to him. That's all I want y'all to do is just talk to him. Jeez.
Oh, man.
What's next? I want to hear what you guys say. Speaking of Kanye and Virgil and fashion, go ahead and get into this Versace deal.
Oh, yeah. So, Versace was bought by Michael Kors for about, what, $2.12 billion?
Is that it?
Yeah.
I thought Versace was worth more than that, but all right.
Nah, they actually been struggling these past few years.
Oh, well, that explains why they got bought.
Well, yeah, just they hadn't been able to get that big mark on them. But yeah, Michael Kors is buying them. Well, the Michael Kors holding group is buying them.
Okay.
This actually is gonna be like the first American fashion conglomerate, like ever. Like, cause the other, it's like the two big ones are French. Is LVMH, Louis V. I don't know the name of it. So I'm just gonna stick with LVMH. They own a shit ton of
Right, but how is this like Versace is not? I thought Versace was Italian.
Yeah, but Michael Kors is American.
Right, so how is it an American?
Because it's all housed by an American holding company.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so this is like the first one that has ever been with America. There was like a battle between Michael Kors and Coach to become that conglomerate.
No, I mess with Coach stuff. Coach has fire stuff.
I fuck with Coach too. But this raised a lot of concerns about products becoming cheapened, on the market, or like not on the market necessarily, but like how the integrity of the project of the product per se, like cheapening, fabric, and a lot of people don't fuck with like Michael Kors now because like Michael Kors is different in the sense that you can go get it at a department store instead of like if you want Gucci, you go into the Gucci store.
That's the only place you can get Gucci.
It's not a lot of those that you could just go to. And so, I guess this is kind of good and kind of bad in the sense that, if it's good and, Versace is able to still do what it does with no infringement on the products, then this would be great because Versace will be able to, get what was it, like get spread a little bit more, like get spread into more department stores, a little bit more things of that sort.
Okay.
Like instead of just being available at like 200 stores, I think they're now going to be available at like 300 stores, and they're also going to be like focusing on accessories, I think. But if this is going to be a situation where Michael Kors is now going to try to make Versace, use cheaper materials to increase that buck, that's gonna be real bad for fashion.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. Let me play the other side for a second.
Okay.
So why is Versace struggling? Because nobody's buying Versace?
I don't know that for sure. I just
that's pretty much the only reason that another company will buy you is they're getting a deal, which means you have untapped potential. Mm-hmm. All right. So obviously for those who aren't fashion conscious like me, I'm not paying $450 for a T-shirt. I just refuse to do that.
Same.
Right?
Same.
But a lot of people are, because you have your Gucci's and your Balenciagas and all of those people who are selling plain white tees for $600, and people are buying them up like it's nothing. So there's something about Versace that isn't connecting with people. So you bring in Michael Kors and you're saying, spread them out, put them in more department stores. Well, if you still paying $450 for a T-shirt, Now that it got Versace and Michael Kors on it, I'm still not paying $450 for that t-shirt.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, you know,
but then
is
again,
is it really the quality of materials? That's
well,
always been my thing about high fashion.
Because here's the thing about fashion when it comes to, you know, especially like super luxury brands.
Yep.
Part of the allure is the exclusivity of being able to only get
The concept of value.
Yeah, like I can only get this what? Let me see. This Louis Vuitton bag. I can only get this in a New York flagship store or a London flagship store or a Paris flagship store or some shit like that. So like the exclusivity of it plays a major part in why people are willing to buy at such a high price tag. Which is why with the whole MK thing, it's just like they pride themselves on being more accessible, which by design of the fashion industry drives that price way down. So instead of buying a $3,000 Celine bag, you're going to go get like a $300 Michael Kors bag.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is, what is the difference in quality between the Celine bag and the Michael Kors bag?
I'm literally saying it's because they
right. But we're saying that there's no difference in quality, right? So now, if I can go get
that for sure,
if I can go get a Versace bag
mm-hmm.
at any department store, that's the same. That is, you know, theoretically, because it's a super high luxury brand,
mm-hmm.
the same quality as the place that I can only go to 4 or 5 stores and get,
mm-hmm.
and I can get it at a lower price. That's great for Michael Kors, great for Versace.
I mean, yeah, I understand that.
So I mean, so where
that's
is
what
it?
I'm saying.
And it's great for the
no
consumer.
Infringement on the actual quality of the product, then that's great. A lot of the concerns have been Michael Kors. Well, I don't know if this, like, I mean, obviously, I don't know if this is going to be true or not. But the concerns have been Michael Kors is going to buy Versace and cheapen its products so that they can put them in these department stores. That has been
That's great for the consumer because it's still Versace. Like, I don't see a whole lot of people rocking Versace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think Versace was ever that big in my limited view of fashion.
Okay.
You know, they don't sell Versace at Walmart, so I ain't buying it. Right?
I mean, neither do they sell that Nike sweatshirt there that you got on. But
oh yeah. but yeah, I mean, you see, I ain't burning my Nike stuff.
Right.
I wear my Nike stuff proud.
Right.
I got on Nike shorts. I got on Nike shoes.
Same. I'm wearing these Nike sweats.
Talk about
these bitches
man.
is bad comfortable.
Get up out of here. But yeah, I mean, I've always thought that, you know, you're paying the premium in price comes from the name, right? Just like we talk about Nike, right? You can go buy Nike stuff that's the exact same. The Jordan brand stuff and the Nike stuff is made at the exact same factory.
Mm-hmm.
So why is the Jordan stuff $220 and the Nike stuff $170? You're just paying for the jump man, right? So I'm saying, if that's the same between a Michael Kors and a Versace, then maybe I can make I can have the economies of scale to make Versace stuff
mm-hmm.
cheaper. Not necessarily the quality be that much cheaper, but I can make it at a lower price because I have a bigger backing
mm-hmm.
if I'm Versace.
Right.
So then I can sell it at a lower price, which gives me an advantage over the Gucci's, the Maison Margielas, the Balenciagas. Like, I know the brands, I don't know what they got.
Right, but here's the thing, but that's also like a part of the allure of the fashion industry. Like, part of that consumerism is the exclusivity. And so essentially it's because it becomes more available, less people are gonna buy it. Well,
but you're saying
fashion basically thrives off of scarcity.
But that's one way of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
The other way of looking at it is Nike stuff is everywhere. Everybody's buying Nike.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not always true. You're talking about the upper luxury. I'm saying if you take a Nike type model and put it into super high luxury, that has a chance to succeed just as much. If you're saying I can get something that is of equal quality and I can go anywhere and get it, well, dang, I don't have to fly to London and Paris to get something that's Versace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I just gotta go down to the Steinmart.
If I go over to Belk.
You telling me if I run into a CJ Maxx, I'm getting Versace? That's tapping into a whole nother base of people who would never even think of looking at Versace.
Mm-hmm.
So then you do that, other people will follow. Now you start bringing the super high luxury stuff down to the common folk.
Right.
And now what you gonna be wearing?
Right. So I think it's just it's like a battle between the traditional fashion market and what could be.
Right.
Because Gucci kind of did. I mean, they did something of sort of the same thing. I mean, they kind of. I don't remember specifically what they did, but essentially they've gained like a lot more popularity among like teenagers, and that has like sent their shit through the roof.
Right, because you have to make stuff affordable for teenagers,
right,
or the parents of teenagers.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, if we're moving towards affordability, then I mean it's a great move for everyone involved. If you had those concerns like you said, then
Right.
How much do people really care about the product? And then you have to remember another thing too is that, bro, niggas don't care about quality. Like, let's just keep it a buck here.
I mean, hey.
Let's keep it funky.
If it's got the insignia, it's got the insignia.
That's what I'm saying. Like, think about it. How many fake Hermes belts do you see? Jesus. It's a whole black market for people selling fake high luxury stuff. Mm-hmm. I got a fake Hermes belt in my closet right now. I ain't never wore it. I don't even know if it's fake Hermes or not. It might be real. I'm not sure. But
I feel it.
I mean, there's a whole market of people like, oh yeah, that Hermes, like, oh, don't get too close. You might see that's not an H, it's an I that's turned on the side.
Oh, God. Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So like you have people that like would rather have the name and say I got this Versace,
right, and
let people give the appearance that you paid $1,000 for that when I really paid $100 for it.
You're right.
In that case, a great move.
All right, what else
we can roll up into Elon Musk. Let's talk about Elon Musk for a second.
Elon, you done fucked up, dog.
Elon Musk.
Elon, you done fucked up real bad.
Former CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, is it? I want to say it's SpaceX.
I think so. I mean, it's called. He was CEO of that too. He was just
being sued by the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, people who regulate the stock market, is suing Elon Musk for trying to take Tesla off of the public market and take it back private. And I think he has probably settled as to pay a $20 million fine and to step down as the CEO of Tesla or the chairman of the board, whatever, something like that.
No, he stepped down. He had to step down as CEO.
As CEO, and he has to hire.
No, it wasn't CEO. It was chairman.
Right, step down as chairman of the board.
Yeah, and
he has to hire independent chairs of the board.
Oh, interesting. He'll be allowed to stay as CEO.
I mean, it is his company. They can't take his company from him.
Right.
But I bring this up.
He can't seek re-election for 3 years.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, he can't be chairman of the board for 3 years.
Didn't know that part.
It's a sad story, honestly. It just goes to show the dangers of greed. I don't want, because it's not that Elon Musk is greedy. It's, how I put this, like, some people just shouldn't own public companies.
You think he's one of them?
Like, I think Elon Musk is somebody who doesn't factor in the things you have to factor in once you take company public. Like, Elon Musk is one of them just super creative dudes. Like, I'm going to colonize the moon.
Right.
Like, you're not thinking about your shareholders when you're colonizing the moon.
Right.
Like, you want to buy rocket ships. That costs a whole lot of money.
Right.
That people just ain't just finna throw you that money.
Right. But, I mean, he did fuck up with that tweet, though. So what he did, like, what the actual, like, caused the claim?
No, what did he say?
So, apparently, he tweeted that he had secured funding to take Tesla private at $420 a share.
Yeah.
And that caused the stock to go way up.
Right.
He didn't secure a goddamn thing, according to the SEC. The SEC said he secured shit. So, So, yeah, they were just like, securities fraud. Get this nigga the fuck out of here.
But is that really securities fraud, though? I mean, that is kind of market manipulation.
That is literally like, come on now.
I mean, but that's. I bet you he did secure funding. I bet you he didn't secure it in writing enough to where you tweet that. I bet you he probably had some handshake.
Some funding.
He probably had some handshake agreements. Like once this gets to 420, we'll give you XYZ in like a handshake agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went and tweeted that and didn't have no paperwork.
Goddamn.
So but that's the thing though. Like that's my dangerous. Like,
but so do you credit that to greed or just to him? Like,
no, I don't think it was. I don't think it was Elon Musk himself.
Okay.
I think it was the people around. I mean, that's all the stock market is greed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's if I invest in this right quick, I can make this quick buck, and then get out of it. So you have somebody like Elon Musk who is literally dreaming for the moon, like literally.
Yeah.
And you come to Elon Musk and say, look, if you take your company public, we can get you the money so that you can do this.
Right.
I don't think Elon Musk was like, well, then that means I'm going to have all these people to answer to, blah, blah, blah. He was just like, all right, well, like, y'all handle that. I'm going to go ahead and think about how I can get people to live on the moon. Mm-hmm. Or I can get this Tesla to fly, or whatever he's trying to do.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to have somebody like Elon Musk, like somebody of his ilk of creativity, to take a company public.
To do something that's so conventional, like taking companies public.
Yeah, so I mean that's a sad story, man.
That's really important.
Elon Musk is one of the people that I look up to from a creative standpoint. Mm-hmm. It's like this man is just a serial idealist. Like I love idealism. Mm-hmm. I think that it's a lost art in society because we're so polarized. You only have to believe in one thing or the other. I just want to bring idealism back.
Right.
That's what we do in Unprofessional Opinion. Unprofessional Opinion, we're bringing back idealism.
Okay.
Let's just come up with ideas and see which one works. Let's do that.
Feel it. Where we at?
Let's talk about we talk about interest rates. So the Fed has raised the interest rates for the third time this year. And, I guarantee you that a lot of people don't really know what that means. When the interest rates rise.
Right. What does that mean?
Basically, what it means is at the Federal Reserve, the bank that runs this country, the bank that lends money to banks, it now costs your bank, so if you're Wells Fargo, SunTrust, Barclays, for them to borrow money, it now costs them more.
Right.
Normally, when the interest rates rise, that means that an economic either recession, some type of economy thing is getting ready to happen. And
as we've been saying for the past few months now.
And also what it means is, you have a spike in refinancing your home because a lot of people they do floating rates, which means that as the interest rates change, your mortgage change. Interest rates go up, you pay a lot, your mortgage is higher. Low, your mortgage is low.
Right.
So, the interest rate has been historically low since 2008, 2008. And now that they're creeping up, people are trying to refinance their homes. And what it also means is banks are getting ready to get scared about giving people loans.
Why? Because
because it now costs them more. I mean, you got to remember the whole what was 2008 price?
Oh, right.
Right? A lot of people had floating rate mortgages. Interest rates went up really high. People couldn't pay the mortgage. They were defaulting. You default on your loan, the bank eats that. They can try to foreclose your home, whatever, but they eat some of that.
Right. It's just really weird because the thing with that is they knew back then most of the people couldn't afford them shits and they still gave it to them. So I feel like that's where the difference may be.
What do you mean?
Like back then they gave the loans knowing damn well most of the people who were getting these loans could not afford them. Could not afford to pay them back.
They were giving out ghetto loans.
Yeah. And that's what caused that. So it's
right,
that
so that,
be the
I'm
same
saying,
shit, or are they just trying to avoid that shit?
No, I'm saying that those things still linger.
Oh, okay.
Like we didn't forget that.
Okay.
Right? They did like a study about the people who graduated from college in 2008 when the crisis hit.
Mm-hmm.
And, they did like a 10-year study, because now it's been 10 years. And they were like, people's whole financial philosophies are 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like, I'm going to get a secure job and a secure mortgage.
Because of 08.
Because we do not want me to try to go out there and get him, Bo, and then it ain't nothing out there to get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not going to get itself if it's not there.
So you have a lot of people who like, and banks think that way too.
Okay.
Like when the interest rates start rising and stuff are happening, they're going to just stop lending money to people.
Right.
Because they're like, no, we know what happened last time.
Right.
So, just something to watch out for, folks.
Oh shit.
Because wages aren't rising, because
wages ain't never rising.
I mean, they're not rising enough to match the.
Are they
unemployment
rising
rate.
by way of inflation or?
No, they're not.
Actually,
I'm talking about like how much companies are paying people.
Mm-hmm.
Like people, they're using more performance-based compensation,
mm-hmm.
a lot more bonuses, a lot more stocks options, and stuff. And that becomes important. That's gonna become important in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
What?
Come on now, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Let's talk about NYU for a second. We were supposed to talk about this last week, but I forgot.
We totally were. Shout out to NYU, man.
No, let's not shout out to NYU.
Shout out to NYU, man.
Right.
I said what I said.
All right, that's fine. You could do that.
Okay.
But then let me tell you where you're wrong about that. So
Okay.
NYU has a plan in place to let people go to med school for free.
Mm-hmm.
Free tuition.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who gets admitted into med school at NYU does not have to pay tuition.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody loaned a mountain of money to NYU,
Okay.
and that is now a thing.
Right. At first, when I read that,
You was like, oh, that's a good thing, right?
I was wonderful. I was just like, but then I started wondering. I was just like, well, like, is NYU hurting for students or some shit like that? But then I looked. I mean, they like number 3 in like research med programs. So it's not like they hurting for notoriety or no shit.
Right, so you don't see what's wrong with that, do you?
What's wrong with it?
I was like, you don't see it.
I don't see it.
All right, so let me help you look.
Okay.
Okay, because you like, you love to talk about racism on this show for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know. Who goes to med school? I mean, obviously people that want to be doctors. Obviously.
Yeah.
But like, if you had to profile a med school student,
mm-hmm.
I mean, there ain't a whole lot of broke people going to med school, right? Because med school costs.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be a doctor, that costs a ton of money.
Right. So you either got the bag already or you leaving with debt.
Right. So let's talk about option 1.
Okay.
So if you got the bag already, why am I letting you keep your bag?
Mm-hmm.
You see?
True.
So I'm letting people who can afford to pay for medical school
mm-hmm.
go for free.
Right.
So now you have to go look at, okay, how often do you let the low-income students who want to go to med school go for free? Low-income med students don't even apply.
Mm-hmm.
Because
but does this help them apply now that they know that if I get in, it's taken care of?
But see, what's the percentage that they get in to begin with?
I don't know.
Right? What did we talk about the last time? We talked about colleges and acceptance rates.
Mm.
You can talk about legacy a whole lot?
Yeah.
How many NYU legacies are low income?
Nah, probably not too many.
And those people probably ain't going to med school.
Right. Okay.
So, we're talking about classes here. Remember we talked about weak link thinking,
mm-hmm.
strong link thinking.
Right.
This is strong link thinking if I ever seen it.
Okay.
In my life. Because you're letting people who are already high income, come from high income families,
mm-hmm. that
have paid NYU. NYU is not a public school. NYU is private.
Mm-hmm.
That means that you already paying a ton to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to pay more school, and they saying, nah, you good. We already got what we can get out of you. Let's continue to get some of these low-income people. Let's donate money so that the high-income students can go to school for free.
Wait, well, how is that securing that? Because How are you saying that we're gonna?
Because think about the people who you just said. The people who go to med school are either the top of the top, or people who can already afford to go to med school.
Wait, so you said the top of the top.
As in, if you can't afford it, then you have to be a prodigy,
right,
in medical to go to med school, right? How many low income prodigies do you have that's going to med school?
I don't. Me personally, I have no idea.
But I'm just saying, if you had to estimate, it's probably not a lot, right? Because there's not a lot of low income prodigies. Period.
Okay.
Most of the prodigies come from places where you can be developed into a prodigy.
Okay.
Right? If you got to worry about taking care of your little brother at 7, you ain't got time to be being a prodigy.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
So we're donating money to let the people who can already afford to pay what I'm requiring you to pay to go to med school to go for free.
But what? How does that? I'm not drawing that correlation.
If you can already afford to go to med school,
I understand that.
Why am I letting you go for free instead of doing something so that more low income people can go to my school?
Okay, that makes sense. So you think it should be specifically for low income students? I mean,
no,
yes,
I'm saying why am I? It's medical school.
Yeah. Okay.
If I want to increase the notoriety of NYU, NYU already has a phenomenal medical program that people save money to go to. That money can be literally used for anything else, and it would be more valuable
than letting people who can afford it go there. So do you think?
So it's the same thing what you said about Phil Knight donating to Stanford. What are you donating to Stanford for? The people who go to Stanford probably can already afford to go to Stanford, or they're going to be successful in life where they can pay back the debt from going to Stanford.
Right.
So why am I letting you go to Stanford for free if you don't need, if that's not an advantage for you?
Okay. So do you think they should turn that into something being specifically for low income students?
I'm saying they can do literally anything else with them. They can upgrade the dining halls.
Wait, I don't just. How
they
can they do
they can upgrade
else?
the janitorial service, and that would be more. That would be more for NYU, the college, in terms of increasing the education than to pay for med school. Like, that was literally probably the worst thing they could have done with that money.
Even if it was for low income students.
I mean, no, I don't care that doesn't increase your acceptance rate of low income students. Like, you're still accepting low income students at the same level you were before.
Well, maybe not, because maybe it's just like we have this many more applicants, so our number of low income students automatically will go up.
Well, I mean, if you start admitting more students, then your school becomes less prestigious, right? It's the same thing with super high luxury. If everybody's got Versace, then it's not as valuable of a brand, is it?
No, that's what I'm saying. Are they sticking with the same percentage of acceptance, or are they sticking with the same number of acceptance?
No, it doesn't matter.
Right.
What I'm saying is you're going to admit the people you're going to admit, regardless of, like, that money has nothing to do with the admission process. The admission process is the same. It's just that now you get admitted to medical school, you're going for free.
Okay.
So, I mean, y'all worried about, again, that's the misdirection play again. Y'all worried about Kanye and that type of, those type of racial, social justice things. This story right here is some of the social justice things that we should be worried about. Because that's a bigger story than the story we're going to talk about next. To me, that's the biggest story of the weekend. Or the last 2 weeks. That's why I got on here twice.
Okay.
On mine, I typed twice by accident.
I mean,
right? So, let's get into it. Eric Reed. People who don't know who Eric Reed is, he was the guy that was on the left of Kaepernick taking the knee, the first knee. He's a Carolina Panther now. Got signed. After, their starting safety got hurt, they signed Eric Reed. Now, what I'm confused about is Eric Reed is also suing the NFL for collusion. How does that work out exactly?
I don't know.
Like, Like I figure if they sign you, then it's not collusion, right? Because you're now on a team.
Mm.
And then that's gotta hurt Kaepernick's case, right? Because it's like, I mean, you can take the knees.
Right.
I mean, at some point, like, you suck. let's just get there, right?
That's interesting.
It's very interesting.
This is very interesting. I don't really have much to say on that one.
I know it's just it's just an interesting story. You know,
Right.
you have, two people who do the exact same thing. One person doesn't get any notoriety from it. I mean, very little, if any, in Eric Reed. One who is probably the better football player and probably had an actual case, Eric Reed.
Mm-hmm.
They both sue for collusion, but yet Eric Reed gets signed and Kaepernick doesn't, and it's an injustice. Kaepernick doesn't get signed because the owners are racist and they're colluding, so much so that they would sign the person who was right there with him, taking the knee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can we now stop the story? Can we stop the collusion story, please?
I would really love to see I would really love to know when that case is actually going to happen.
It's not going to happen for a long time.
I would
The
love
NFL is going to tie that up in litigation so long. That story is never going to. I don't foresee that case seeing the light of day at any time soon.
That would be very interesting. I would actually watch that.
I
just want to see the proof that they have for that.
That it was collusion?
Yeah.
I do too, because I think they grasping at all kind of straws. Let's see. Let's talk about Jimmy Butler. We haven't talked basketball lately. NBA's back.
Hey,
Preseason action.
Kawhi Leonard made his debut.
Yo, I just gotta address it.
His laugh.
What was that? Oh my! I can't even. Yo, literally, I'm gonna tell you my thought process as I was watching that, because they was like Kawhi Leonard's laugh was going off, so I was on Bleacher Report and I watched it.
Dude, just like this dude is a
And
robot.
I said,
forgot how to laugh.
This was my first reaction. I was like, oh, he can't sell no shoes with that. He can't sell any shoes with that. That's why they dropped him. That's why Jordan Brand dropped him.
Because of his laugh.
You cannot sell anything with that. I mean, because think about it. Let's say that you do a Little Penny type campaign, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have Kevin Hart or somebody be Little Kawhi, right?
Little Kawhi? Was that the plan?
I don't know, but I mean, that's the only way I could see him ever selling a shoe.
Right. Was Little Kawhi?
Right. He's quiet. You have somebody else that's real loud talk for him.
Right.
If Kevin Hart says something funny and he laughs, I'm not buying that shoe. Nah, dog, you can't. I can't wear the same. Does that laugh come with that shoe? No, sir.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. I was like, yo.
But that's not who we talking about.
The first chuckle sounded a little bit like a Jay-Z laugh. Like the mini chuckle at first. Before he was like, I don't even know where you sitting. And then you started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, you got the smooth little Jay-Z. Oh. Yeah, you can't sell no shoes with that one for a while. You can't sell nothing
That's
with
not
that.
when we started this topic. Jimmy Butler is looking to be traded.
Nah, man, you can't. You can't sell nothing with that laugh, Kawhi.
Where
So Jimmy
he
Butler.
looking to go? Miami. We heard what? I think the Bucks were trying to get in the mix for that.
I mean, it's like 15 teams in the mix.
I think the
all right?
Nets are trying to get in the mix for it.
The price is too high. Jimmy Butler's not going anywhere right now.
Sixers. I think the Wolves asked for Ben Simmons.
They did.
Like that was gonna happen, but
I mean, hey.
hey, aim high, but like nah.
So this is a very interesting situation here, right?
Talk that shit to him.
Well, first off, can Jimmy Butler be the best player on a contending team? Like, where do you see Jimmy Butler in the small forward rank? I mean, we know, like, take LeBron out of the picture, like, because LeBron's on his own tier.
I mean, so
after, like, where does Jimmy Butler rank?
Because if we're looking
amongst
at small
the
forwards,
other small forwards,
who do we look at when we think of small forwards outside of LeBron?
I mean, we're talking about the elite group. We're talking Giannis, KD, Paul George, Kawhi,
right?
You know, Jimmy Butler. That's pretty much about it.
Yeah, that's.
So
I
those
really
five.
Too many more. Okay.
I mean, Gordon Hayward maybe.
No,
I mean, Gordon Hayward before the injury was
like
fire.
A shooting guard.
Nah, Gordon Hayward small forward.
Okay.
Come on now. I mean, so those six guys, where's Jimmy Butler on that list? I can make a very strong argument that he's sixth.
Yeah, but I mean, he's the only one on there that he doesn't shoot better than anybody else on that list. Oh, never mind. Giannis. Forgot about that. But Giannis is a freak. I mean, he has potential. I mean, he literally plays all five positions.
Okay.
So, I mean, when the only other person who can't shoot on the list plays every single position, it's a really strong argument for six. So, I mean, because right now, if I had to go through that, obviously LeBron at the top, maybe KD second.
Yes.
I would say Giannis third.
No. Kawhi Leonard's third.
Oh, yeah. Well,
don't you dare disrespect Kawhi.
Okay, Kawhi third, Giannis fourth, Paul fifth, Gordon sixth because of his injury. And then, yeah, Jimmy seventh.
Well, I mean, I might put Jimmy a little bit ahead of Gordon Hayward. But...
Okay, yeah, I guess you would have to put him ahead of Gordon because of the injury.
But
even then, if Gordon comes back and starts balling the way that he was,
I'd still put Jimmy Butler ahead of him.
Why?
Jimmy Butler plays defense. I mean, not like Gordon Hayward doesn't, but Gordon Hayward doesn't do it at the level that Jimmy Butler does it. But I just even that like out of those 7 people, right, taking LeBron off. Mm-hmm. How many of those guys can be the best player on a championship level team? Only LeBron, KD, and Giannis can. I don't think Kawhi Leonard is leading Toronto to a title this year.
Of course not.
But I'm saying let's say the Warriors, disband or whatever. Like, I'm saying that if I got Kawhi, I don't think that automatically puts me in the conference finals. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not sold that beats Philly, what they have in Toronto. I know it doesn't beat Boston. Mm-hmm. So I don't.
Definitely is not beating.
I don't. I mean, obviously I don't think Paul George is the best player on the championship team.
Right.
I don't think Gordon Hayward is. I don't think, Jimmy Butler is. So then it becomes, what do you give up to get, because what you have to do is, we know that Jimmy Butler and Kyrie would like to play together. Mm-hmm. What Kyrie's saying, Kyrie's like, I'm not really thinking about leaving Boston, which puts Jimmy Butler on an island. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I have to trade for Jimmy Butler knowing that I have to go get another player. I have to go get another all-star caliber player for this to be happening. So then that drives down who can trade for him. Because he wants to be the guy. So the Lakers are out.
Do you think, because we've already said the Nets for next year, do you think that the Nets try to make a big move now to try to get Kyrie next year? Like next free agency?
I mean, I think they're already planning on it, but I don't think Kyrie goes there without Jimmy. I don't think, it's weird, because Kyrie's in such a good situation that, like, you have to be ready to give him part ownership, pretty much, to get him to leave Boston. Especially, how good they can be. I mean, people think that Boston's going to win the title this year. Mm-hmm. So, if they win the title, he's definitely not going anywhere. So, you're taking a huge risk in giving up, your farm, pretty much, for Jimmy Butler, and then not getting a Kawhi, Klay Thompson, who's not leaving Golden State.
Right.
Kyrie is somebody of that caliber, because you need somebody of that caliber. Mm-hmm. And then the Timberwolves are trying to sell Jimmy Butler as someone of that caliber, so they want, obviously, way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me to the other thing. I applaud the Minnesota Timberwolves
for trying to sell him high.
I mean, they didn't want to trade him at all. If it wasn't for the owner,
right.
they wouldn't trade him. So, I mean, like, that's... I don't understand why more front offices don't do that. I want to be traded. No.
Mm-hmm.
See you at practice. Like, what? Like, I don't have to trade you just because you want to be traded. Right? I mean, think about if the Pacers had not traded Paul George. Just, I want to be traded.
They'd be a pretty nice squad right about now.
I mean, they wouldn't have Oladipo. That was part of the trade.
Yeah.
Right. So, well, like, I mean, like, if or the most glaring one.
Imagine if he would have been there with Oladipo. That'd be I feel like they'd be able to do pretty well.
Yeah, they couldn't get that happening. I mean, they just couldn't make that possible.
Oh.
Like, there was no. You weren't going to trade Oladipo and not get Paul George.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, you know, the other example being Cleveland. Like, okay, Kyrie, you want to be traded? No. Oh, you're going to start the whole year? Okay. Like, I still have you in the contract for next year. So,
right.
Unless you want to sit out for 2 years. I mean, that's what happened to Kawhi. Right? He wanted to get traded to L.A. They was like, no, we're not doing that. You going to start the whole next year? I bet you won't.
And he did.
Oh, I'll go to Toronto. Oh, I'm going to Toronto with an open mind.
Right. An open mind of playing.
Right. Yeah, and I'm playing. Like, what are you talking about?
Damn.
So I mean, where does he go?
What do you think is his best landing spot, though? Seeing that the trade is looking like it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, it is. Like, they're going to trade him now because, I mean, Thibodeau doesn't have a choice.
Right. So where is he going?
Well, it's weird because Phoenix tried to get in, you know, because I think you're gonna need a third team because they want an all-star caliber player.
Mm-hmm.
They want another young player. They want a draft pick and they want salary cap space, which means you have to find somebody that's just gonna unload the salary on. I mean, you have somebody like Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
But Jimmy's not going to end up in Sacramento. But they're going to be the third team that you can just dump some salary off in Sacramento.
Right.
And have that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Miami is the only real option because I think they need to do something.
And they got plenty of cap.
They don't.
They don't?
They don't have because they did horrible things with their cap space.
Are they still paying the shit out of Dwayne Wade?
No, Dwayne Wade's on the minimum.
Okay,
but they're paying Goran Dragic a lot of money.
Oh,
they're paying Whiteside almost max money. I mean, I'll tell you some places I'd like to see him. I don't know if he can do it, but I mean, I really do think Portland.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Portland make a move.
That'd be great.
I would love to see the Knicks make a move. I think they have the young guy. I don't know if they have the cap space, but I would love to see the Knicks with him and Porzingis. If it may cost you Kevin Knox, but you know, if I can go get Kyrie and have Kyrie, Jimmy, and KP,
that's
fire.
That's bad.
That's fire.
That's a bad team right there.
It's fire. I mean, they probably lose in the second round of the playoffs, but that's
to who?
I mean, that's not better than Boston. I mean, Boston without Kyrie is still the best team in the East right now.
Okay.
According to Tristan Thompson, it's the Cavs are the favorites.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see y'all over the night.
That's what everybody said. It was like a word. Word.
Bet. See you in September.
Right. It was like.
We got a preseason game. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Yeah, that was cool. All right, let's get into this topic.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Butler ends up in Miami for the year, and then I don't know why Jimmy Butler wouldn't go to the Lakers. I mean, he wants to go to like the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Clippers don't have a ton to offer, but
I mean, maybe because he doesn't want to play second or third fiddle. No,
yeah, but I'm saying that's what he's gonna do anyway. Like that's my point. If you and Kyrie teams up, you're second fiddle.
Mm-hmm.
If you and Kawhi team up, you're second fiddle. Like, the only difference between that and you and LeBron teaming up is you don't get no credit at all if you LeBron's teammate. They only talk about you dirty when you don't show up.
Right.
Ask Kevin Love. Kevin Love like, I've been 18-10 my whole time in Cleveland. Y'all always talk about how bad I am.
Speaking of
watch
that,
Kevin.
I think Kevin Love gonna ball out this year.
Man, Kevin Love will average 19-2. What you talking
19-2.
Yes.
19 points and 2 boards.
No, not 2 boards. Man, he'll probably give you like 11 boards.
19 and 11.
And 2 assists.
And 2 assists. And maybe a block.
He ain't gonna block no
I
shot.
think he'll get half a block on the year.
Yeah, he might get a half block for the entire year. And I like Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love is dope, but like the game has just changed on Kevin Love.
I think he gonna ball out this year
He ain't
because he
finna ball
ain't shit else to do in Cleveland.
He ain't finna ball out. Don't worry, Kevin Love ain't finna ball out. All right, let's talk about governments ruining marriages.
That's not a thing.
I mean, according to you and somebody else I was talking to, it is.
I didn't say that.
So
marriages.
go ahead and explain. I was having a conversation. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was asking him if he had married his girlfriend yet, and he said, "No, I don't want the government involved in my relationship." And I thought that was a really weird comment. I said, "What does the government have to do?" I was like, "So she's just not ready to marry you? Is that what you're saying?" He was like, "No, like both of us come from parents that had bad marriages, and like I don't want the government involved in my relationship." And I said, "Well, the government didn't do anything. Why am I why am I blaming the government for why your parents' marriage didn't work?" You know, and he was like, "You signed a legally binding agreement to be married." And I said, "Huh? What are you talking about?" I said, "So how do you explain divorces and annulments?"
Okay.
That's how you get out of those legally binding agreement in air quotes. And he was just like, it's like, 10% the government's fault, 90% my parents' fault. I said, so where does the 10% come from?
Okay.
And he couldn't answer. He started talking about something else.
All right. Now,
and you told me you saw both sides, so I want to hear that side. I know my side.
Because I understand, yes, your point that the government does not ruin relationships. People ruin relationships. Like, y'all.
Well, I mean, no.
Y'all here for the wrong reason, or y'all not compatible, whatever the case. Like,
well, that's not even my point. My point is the government really doesn't care about your marriage enough to have any say in what goes on to it.
Understandable. My whole side, the side that I saw was, why do we really need to get the government involved in this? In terms of legally being married, like what benefit does that have for us as the couple to do that legally, other than maybe like if I die out of nowhere, then all of my shit goes straight to her because she's.
Well, I mean that's certainly one thing.
That's certainly one thing.
And the other thing is, the government has to make money too. And how do they make money?
Taxes.
Right. So if y'all join your stuff together
in the one civil union as one before God.
No, not that. I'm not even talking about the whole marriage. I'm saying that if y'all live together, y'all have a joint account, like all the stuff that you could do without the government. You don't need the government to do any of that.
Right.
How do you file taxes separately? You don't, right?
Unless
you can't. You can't.
What,
if your stuff is joined into one account,
right.
How does the government know unless you say that you're filing jointly because you're married?
Right. Okay. Understandable.
So that has nothing to do with why your marriage sucks.
Oh no, I understand that.
So tell me why what that has to do with your marriage. Like, it's literally just a record keeping mechanism for the government.
I understand.
So the government is not allowed to keep records, therefore your relationship sucks.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That was literally my only point. Was just like, what is the point?
I mean, somebody has to know,
right?
And
I understand that, but it's just like that. I mean, I really don't have anything else to say on that.
I mean,
that was literally my point. It was just like, in terms of not necessarily like the actual record keeping, of just like in terms of the actual relationship, like that relationship would be the same with or without the marriage license. Like,
exactly.
So
that's all a marriage license is record keeping. Like, all your driver's license is record keeping.
Right.
Who are you?
Right.
That's how many times do you use your driver's license purposes other than that.
Right. And I mean, it just gets kind of like, having a driver's license, you can still be a trash driver with or without your driver's license.
Exactly.
Or a great driver with or without your driver's license.
Anyway.
But that was really my whole thing, because it's just like, other than the tax benefit, maybe.
Oh, there's definitely a tax benefit if you file jointly.
Right.
If you file separately.
If you file what?
If you're married and you file separately, there is definitely a tax benefit to being married and file jointly.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So,
I thought you were saying
you save money when you file jointly.
Right. And so, because hey, we're in the space that we're moving into now, I feel like joint accounts are becoming a lot less of a thing, really, in terms of, just views on what marriage is supposed to be and all this other shit. And there are a lot of people who are just straight up foregoing, marriage. They're just like, what the fuck is the point? Let's just do what we do, and that's it, which is understandable.
But that's also stupid, though. Like, if you live together for 30, like, if you're married, but then, like, you're not officially married, like, what are you doing?
Oprah is dead.
Oprah stabbing again.
Oprah stabbing.
I don't want to get into Oprah stabbing. All right, but we could talk about finances and relationships. We want to get into that topic.
We can do it.
Because I can already tell you.
What?
Because I get in arguments with older people in my family all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk to me, like, about finances and stuff. And I said, I'm running all of the finances in my relationship.
Okay.
My woman.
Okay.
If she wants to make a financial decision over $750, I have to be notified.
Why?
Because I'm a finance guy.
Oh, okay.
Like, finance is what I do. Like, that's what I do.
Not just because you're like, oh, I'm the man and I do all this.
Right, and that's how they always take it. Like, oh, you're controlling. It's like, no.
Literally, I have the knowledge to get us the most money back.
It's like literally, like, I don't trust you to make decisions without me over $750.
Why not? Because you're the finance guy?
Exactly. Like, I will create the financial budget as to how we spend our income and how we invest and all of that. So that
for y'all's joint stuff.
If we go joint,
right.
I will have an account on the side.
Right,
she can too.
Because that's what it seems like that's going to be a big thing. It's just there's going to be the joint account for things that you do with each other or the family, for when people eventually decide to have kids or do joint projects like buy a house, all that.
Right.
And then they own separate shit for their own personal things that they would like to go purchase.
I want that too.
Oh,
like I want what I'm saying is any income, like, because I'm the finance guy, like, I don't understand why it would be a big deal. Like, I'm not doing this because I don't think you're capable. Right. I'm just saying that this is my lane.
But you just said you don't trust him.
I don't, because I trust.
So what if it's a finance
who do you trust with your money more than you? Right, so if y'all had a joint account, that's half yours, right? That's all I need. 50% majority. That's it. Mine.
Okay.
That's half mine. We gotta pay taxes on half mine.
Okay.
Then we finna decide half mine and let me do that.
Okay, but what if she's a finance woman?
I won't be with no finance woman.
Why?
Because she gonna be trying to do the same thing to me and it ain't happening.
Why can't that happen?
It's not happening.
Why not?
That's because that's what I'm thinking. I keep trying to tell y'all. Okay? If you don't compromise on the things that you're good at and you compromise on things that you suck at, everything is better. I want to be the one that's budgeting everything. You don't want to do that.
But what if she does? Because she's a finance woman.
But she don't want to do it more than I want to do it. She don't want to do it more than I want to do it.
It's a competition of who wants it.
And you don't want it more than me.
Why does she want it more than you?
But you don't want it more than me. All right, like,
you don't want smoke? You don't want no smoke?
She wants no smoke when it comes to who runs the finance in our family. Right? And especially, so I mean, I will control all finances in my relationship. Mm-hmm. I will do that. Because I understand that controlling finances is a very tedious thing to do when you have multiple people involved. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not just me. Right? So it's like, some people, like, they clean. They're the cleaner. Like, don't worry about cleaning. I'll clean because I don't trust you to do a good job cleaning. That's how my mom is. My mom will go ahead and clean because, quite honestly, she don't think my dad does a good job cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you do that. I'll do my thing, which is finance. I will control finance. Every cent of that money will be accounted for.
In the joint account.
In the joint account, in the separate account.
Oh, you
every cent of that money will be accounted for.
Huh?
It will be accounted for. Yeah.
Even at her side?
Yes, her side account. I will need to know the balance of that side.
That's all you need to know is the balance.
I might want to know a little bit more. I might want to know a little bit more.
LOL.
I mean, what are you saying? You just saying, oh, you just do you with your money. I'm gonna do me with my money. Then we decide together with the joint.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then you keep saying, yeah, you don't want to know how much she pulling out of her check to get to put it. You don't want to know how the money distributed between what goes into the person and what goes into the joint.
Well, that's something we're gonna discuss prior.
That's what I'm saying. Then that means you would know what's in there.
Right.
I mean, you saying that you don't want to know how she spends it, but you want to know what's in there, right?
What's in her account?
Yes. Because
no,
if it's getting
not
split,
really.
if it's getting split a certain way,
mm-hmm.
I mean, you gonna know how much your woman makes, right? Per check, because you would have to.
Yeah.
Because some of it's getting deposited to. If she deposited $10, she got 100 racks,
right,
somewhere hidden from you. You don't want that to happen, right? So you gotta see how much is distributed.
Those are her racks, man. Those are her racks.
But I'm saying, but you gotta see how much is distributed. You would want to know that part. Like, I don't care how much you make, but just know that, okay, half is going here, half is going there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or something of that sort.
Okay.
Would you not want to know that?
I mean, it just depends. Honestly, I mean, if it's a situation where we come in with 100 racks.
I'm trying to help you from not getting robbed.
How am I getting robbed?
Bro, because
if we're both contributing our part,
let's say y'all get married legally. Okay. Right? And you do your strategy.
Okay.
Right? So you pull out what you pulling out, put in your personal, and you got a joint, and she pulling out what she pull out, and y'all got a joint. Okay. She put something in the joint. Y'all get a divorce. You don't know nothing about this over here.
Okay.
You split that down the middle, and then you got how much is she walking away with?
Walk away with that's her money.
That money is legally yours.
Her money is legally mine because of the marriage.
Bro.
I'm talking about looking at the link that like her.
No, I'm talking about marriage.
Okay.
You get a divorce in Georgia. You split the assets.
Okay.
You can't split assets you don't know about.
Okay.
You know how she can hide that money? So you're giving up 60% of your stuff and she's giving up nothing.
Okay.
That's what you signing up for?
I mean, look,
I'm asking.
I'm
just saying I'm not saying you got to control what's in there, but you got to know how much is in there.
I mean, if she's got a secret account and I've got a secret account, then what are we bitching about? Why am I worried about what she has from her shit?
I'm not talking about you have to get her bank statement every month. I'm just saying, out of your check, half is going here, half is going there.
Okay.
I don't care how much half is. I just want to know that it's half.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want it to be 1090, and then y'all spending joint money. That ain't joint money. That's your money. Getting spent on the family vacation. She out there buying Louis Vuitton bags and stuff, and you gotta buy the broke down Versace because all your money in the joint account, and you ain't got none in your personal account because she hiding from you.
Well, I would never at any point put myself in a situation to have all of my money in the
but you
account.
know what I'd say. See, there you go again trying to take stuff literally.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Just saying, man. You gotta have some type of hierarchy. When it comes to certain things in relationship, everything should have a hierarchy, right? Which is why I don't get flat hierarchies in business. You got all these businesses out there, and nobody has titles, nobody's anybody's boss. How does that even work? I think that's a societal thing, because I think people are edging towards that, where people want to have some type of autonomy and power. Mm-hmm. When they work. You don't want to have somebody that just tell you what to do all day. You want to be able to decide what you want to do. Right? You ain't earned that yet.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part is that you got to earn that.
I mean, it's not even earn it by your work. I'm saying earn it by the way that you think. If you don't think like somebody that owns a business, why would I give you that position to begin with? If you think like a peon, you don't get to think with the kings. You think over here with the peons.
Right.
The kings tell the peons what to do. Every organization needs its peons.
Right.
I don't understand, man. This participation trophy society is sickening. Everybody got to feel like they're important. Some people just aren't important. It's okay to be not important.
They couldn't have said it any better myself. But when it comes to flat hierarchy, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could also partially have to do with like having more access to the people who are higher up.
What you just talk to them for?
I don't know.
You're
in a position now where you have to talk to somebody that's higher up. Your boss's boss, right? Or
Right.
whatever the fuck.
Okay.
Would it not be a lot easier to be able to get to this person?
No, it would be easier if you was in the state of Georgia.
Hierarchy?
Yeah, it would be a lot easier if you was in the state of Georgia.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, wait, hold on.
I thought he was out of town.
Oh,
last
okay.
week.
And so I'm saying, would it not be easier for you to go and do the things that you needed to do with him in a flat hierarchy,
Right,
versus having to jump through all of these loopholes to get to him?
Right, but that's a one-off situation.
Mm-hmm.
Right, a flat hierarchy isn't just, oh, I need to talk to this person about the problem. It's, no, like, we're all on, like, semi-equal footing. I can go talk to him about anything. I don't need to be talking to my boss's boss about everything every day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that type of access.
Right.
I'm not important at where I work enough to do that. And that's okay. But that goes back to my thing about everybody doesn't deserve an opinion. Right? I've always said, what have I said? Strippers do not have an opinion on the world. They can have one. They're entitled to one. It is their right to have an opinion.
Okay.
But their opinion is not valuable to how the world works. No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, if you're running for president, you don't go to the strip club and have town halls there. That's not where you have town halls.
Okay.
Right? You don't want to hear a stripper's point of view of you know,
of the joint.
Of anything, actually. Right?
Okay.
Like, when was the last time you said, you know what, I could really use a stripper's point of view? When was the last time you said that?
I mean, I don't think...
When was the last time you said it, though?
I've never said that.
Right, but when was the last time you said it?
I just said I never said that.
So then why do you need to know a stripper's opinion?
Mean,
what makes a stripper's opinion valuable to you then?
It depends on what we're talking about.
What do we?
Maybe they have knowledge on something that I don't know about.
On what?
I don't know.
They may very well might
Okay.
have knowledge on something, but that doesn't make it valuable.
Why does it not make it valuable? Just because they're a stripper?
Yes.
What if it,
exactly?
What that doesn't have anything to do
because you haven't been using that knowledge to your advantage.
But
if you had knowledge
really?
if you had knowledge that I really needed and you hadn't used it, something tells me that you wouldn't be a stripper.
LOL.
Last time you seen the stripper turn billionaire? Exactly. Don't think too hard. You'll crack your brain open. You ain't never seen no stripper turn into no billionaire. You ain't. You ain't. So what ideas they got?
Back to that one.
What ideas they got? They ain't got none. They don't have nothing of value. Right? It's another thing I said. I forgot what it was.
I don't remember.
I forgot what the other person was. That I was just like, they don't have an opinion.
Oh, I think old people.
Oh yeah, I did say old
people.
But see, the old people thing is different. Because I think old people, like, they've seen too much, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, like when I've been watching Power the whole week, or the whole weekend. I spent all day Saturday watching Power. Like, when somebody knows too much, when they see too much, like, you gotta off them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we gotta kill all the old people. But I'm just saying, like, at some point, like, I don't want to know what worked in the 20s. Like, it's not relevant to
not relevant. I can.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, like, their knowledge
point.
base is so
old,
like,
literally
it's so,
old.
It's such a breath that it's outdated. So then, like, I don't, once you hit 85, like Quincy Jones, like, I know you got a special on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear anything Quincy Jones has to say about anything. He's too old. He's too old for him to say anything of value now. I mean, you remember that interview you had? What did he say? Did he say anything of value? No. He came back and said Marlon Brando and Marvin Gaye was let's getting it on.
Okay.
With sexual healing each other.
And he said that JFK was assassinated by the mafia.
But what I was like, how does that have any value to what we're doing now? It doesn't. So what are we talking to Quincy Jones for?
I mean, hey.
He said Prince tried to run over Michael Jackson, something like that. I mean, you're talking about two dead people getting into a fight. How is that valuable to 2018?
I mean,
Quincy. Anyway.
Oh man,
you got anything else, man?
I don't think I got anything else for today, man. I think I'm
Shout at Quincy Jones.
Shut up.
This is the Unprofessional Opinion podcast.
Yep.
Bringing back idealism.
Okay.
We make all kind of opinions on a variety of topics that you just heard, except professional ones. I am JC.
Yeah, this is all unlicensed, guys.
I don't care about licensing.
I'm
JC. That's AJ. We'll see y'all next week. Keep your opinions unprofessional.
Deuces.